Alright everybody, welcome to today's video on Greta the Junkyard truck. I'm actually doing a couple of videos today. One, I'm going to talk about the HEI distributor I put in this because someone was kind of asking about a detail video on that, and so I'm going to make a short video on just blabbing about that. But today we are ditching this old C2, I think it's called the C2 power steering pump. This is the power steering pump that they use in everything from, you know, a Ford Escort all the way up until, you know, Super Duties and F-350s, and I mean basically every Ford truck that's ever been made has pretty much had this power steering pump. Well, one of you, Brandon, I don't want to butcher his last name, but our viewer Brandon sent me a Econoline power steering pump and bracket. He gave it to me for free, but the shipping was kind of ridiculous for this small of a part, so I paid for the shipping because I didn't want to just, you know, take and not you know, send something back. So this came out of a 87 Econoline with a 302, and it was set up for serpentine. I really don't want to go through the trouble of converting that to the serpentine setup, especially because I just bought brand new V-belts for it. So it came with a power steering pump. This one, it had been sitting around and I really don't know the condition of it. I've poured fluid in it and cranked it with the drill, and it does pump, and it pumps quite well even at low speed, but it's a little stiff to turn. I don't know if that's just how that one is, if it's got low miles or what, I don't know, but the seal's leaking on it. I can tell that that's been seeping. But I have this pump here is only got, I think, 40,000 miles on it, and this was on my Ford BT. The reason why I don't have it on there now is because I upgraded to the gear-driven vacuum pump assembly, and that came with another Saginaw pump that was in good shape and actually works quite well, so I just left it all alone. So this one here, I just pulled off the Cummins adapter that it was on and obviously pulled the gear off. And to do that, actually that's totally separate from this. You guys are probably not going to be dealing with that Cummins part. But as far as removing the factory pulley, there's a couple of tools that you're going to need. So there's this guy. Let's see, is there a part number on this? I'll see if I can find a part number for this, but I got this guy here. I usually put this hose clamp on there. It just holds as two halves together. And that'll grab onto here, and then as you crank on, I believe you're going to crank on this. I think that's what, yeah, you crank on the center part, and it'll pull that pulley off. I don't know where this pulley came from. I just happen to have it in my stash. So we got that on there, and hopefully it's the right spacing. We're gonna find out. But then the tool to install it. First of all, get yourself some silicone spray and some grease and lube this up. And then this one here has its part number, but this works. I think it works for the C2 pump. $25,298 OEM. But this worked on the Saginaw pump too, and so that presses the pulley on. So those are a must, and they're relatively inexpensive. See, the other part we got in the box of stuff he sent me was this bracket here for the AC compressor. I'm not sure how that's gonna go. We'll find out. But basically what we need to do is we need to come over here and we need to loosen up our belt for the AC, and we need to get this off, and we might just flop it over, and then once that's gone, then we can start removing the power steering pump. We actually need to extract the fluid out of this, and then we will be able to start removing that. We could also take this pulley off, because because it might have a different spacing. If it has the spacing we need to have the belt be aligned, we could take this one off and put it on. Might have me in there. Ah, there we go. Just gotta loosen that a little bit. I'm actually hoping that this belt that I just bought for the AC will be the right length still. I bought new belts before I was offered this part, so it's kind of a spur of the moment. Okay, we need to loosen up our power steering pump here. And then we get our belt off of here. Let's see. Nope. Gotta loosen the pinch bolt. I had that pretty tight. We can set it aside because the alternator belt kind of keeps it locked in there. Yeah, this pump here, these have always had like a lot of resistance when turning. The Saginaw pumps usually don't have a lot of resistance. But then again, this has got fluid and it's primed and everything. But the other one, the old pump that was on that bracket felt stiff like this. Okay, so I'm not sure. Oh no, I think this bracket we get rid of because it's all part of our new one. I'm just not sure what we're gonna do about a tensioner. Well, we're gonna find out before we get too much further. Okay, so that bracket is out. I think we're gonna end up leaving this one, but we might. Oh yeah, you know what? We are gonna have a slight issue. I'm probably gonna have to convert this to a gonna have to convert it to serpentine. Well, let's see how it mounts, and then we'll probably just have to come back to this later. Did I have the right one? I had the right one. Let's see if we can plop this in here. We're gonna have to get our get our old power steering pump out of here. If you guys don't have one of these fluid extractors, you gotta get one. I got just the manual one, which was only like 60 bucks on Amazon. But they have, for a little bit more money, you can get the one that runs on shop air. You don't have to pump it. You can pump it, or you can use compressed air to operate it. And we'll need to get our bin and put it under there so we can catch the fluid, any excess. Yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and convert this to serpentine. Luckily I have all the serpentine stuff and bracketry for the alternator, so I think what we can do is take everything from like a 94, 95, 302, and then I'll just have to swap my alternator stuff back over, and then we can get rid of the V-belt pulley on that. Of course that was gonna happen. Bit me. This was a brand new pressure line that I bought and put in here. Yeah, I'll just cut that line right off. We'll put a new one on there. That one's gooey anyways. Oh yeah, we need a different water pump too to put this on here. Our oil pressure thing is not going to be a problem, I don't think. But yeah, we definitely need a different water pump. Well, as you saw, this is mostly my derp moment, thinking that I could make this work. As you can see, this bracket here is strictly for a serpentine setup. And I was just thinking in my head that I could make it work somehow, and I just didn't occur to me that you also need a way to tension everything. And so this is a project we're going to save for later. I really don't want to get into serpentine converting it because I just bought brand new belts for it. It's got a brand new water pump on it that doesn't leak. Had the alternator bracket on it I want to use because I have a plan with that bracket, and I mentioned it in a video. Because what I'm about to say here is, this is where my game plan for this truck is actually starting to change gears a little bit. There's a pun in this video somewhere. So I kind of talked about doing like all-wheel drive, this and that, blah blah blah. Been having a hard time finding the all-wheel drive transfer case that I want, and looking at parts and stuff for them is a little spendy. So I've decided to go with a manual transfer case, and that's when I had picked up this transmission. I was actually buying the transfer case, and I just happened to get the transmission. It's gonna cost, I was planning on putting this in the junkyard truck, or in this truck that we're working on, but you know, it's just looking at the money that I'm gonna need to spend to get this you know, put back together with fresh parts and whatnot, and plus we got the controller, and there's a bunch of other things that go on there that I think might not be worth it, just time-wise. So with that, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and 5-speed swap it like I talked about. I'm sorry if some people were expecting me to do the auto, and then they're like, oh, he's not doing the manual, so whatever. Now he's not doing the auto, he's doing the manual. I don't know what he's doing. I change my mind all the time with these projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this M50D I got here. This will be our temporary permanent transmission until I can get my hands on a ZF5. You know, I've just been finding two-wheel drive ZF5s lately. I'm at the point where I might just pull one and order the parts to convert four-wheel drive, because probably even snag two of them so we can get the other truck converted over. E4OD that we have here, I'm actually going to be boxing up. I was actually going to put together, sorry Scott, you're going to be getting a box of parts. I'm going to bag and tag all the small sensitive stuff that we cannot lose, and just box everything else up. And I'm giving him my manual that I have, and I have no money into the transmission. Well, $30 for the repair manual, but I'm doing this on a parts trade. So let me show you what I have, and what I have is going to go into the junkyard truck. So my friend Scott, who coincidentally helped me rebuild this M50D, and its failure is just a materials failure, nothing we did or I did. Well, I might have towed a little bit with fifth gear on. But so let me show you what I got for the truck. Now, front shocks need to be replaced. They're kind of blown out. They're a little, you know, whatever. So in our little parts trade, I'm giving him my E4OD as a parts transmission for his E4OD that he might eventually go through. So he'll have a parts transmission for anything he might need. In that parts trade, I got brand new suspension parts. Brand new front shockulators. This is for the front, and I know I put air shocks in the back of this truck, but we're going to be beefing up the leaf spring pack to do a lift, and with what I'm going to be doing, we won't need air shocks. I put those in as a gag, they were cheap. So yeah, so I got these. I got pair for the rear, pair for the front. And let me show you what else I got. Brand new. Thanks, Scott. Needless to say, I do help him out a lot with his projects, or at least whenever he asks me to. And I usually give him deals and stuff, and we go back and forth with part stuff and labor help. But I got a Skyjacker 6-inch lift coil springs, brand new. Still in the bag, and these are gonna spike some concern, and I have my concerns for them, and we may modify this a little bit. But when you lift TTB, you gotta drop the pivot brackets. And I have these. I think he got these when he ordered his long arm kit, and he already had these installed. I'm going to be ordering the long arms, and I found them on Summit. And I just need the long arms. I don't need the drop brackets since I have those. So that's one thing I will have to order, and then I'm going to order a lift block, like a 2 or 3 inch lift block for the back. And then we're gonna make a custom leaf spring pack. So we should. I'm gonna shoot for like a 6.5 inch lift in the back and a 6 inch in the front. We're gonna have to get bigger tires for it. So I'm probably gonna put 35s, possibly 37s on it. We'll have a little bit of fun with this. Those brackets, I am thinking I'm gonna make a little modification to them. I'm gonna try and add some more support. Just to keep this movement from tweaking on the cross member, because that's a problem with those drop brackets, is that the axles are going to want to do this when you're really, doing this stuff. So we'll probably weld on some DOM tubing and maybe lock those into the frame somewhere, give it a little more support. That's where I'm at in my train of thought. So I think I've kind of settled on what I want to do. The automatic thing, I kind of wanted to put the EU4OD in, but I don't have any money into this transmission other than that manual. And I told my friend Scott, would you like to do just a parts trade? I'll give you a parts transmission, and then I'll take those parts. So we agreed on that deal, and probably here in a few months. Well, I don't know when exactly. I'm actually buying a puppy here in a little bit, so I'm kind of holding on to my money for that, and then once I get the puppy, sometime after that, when I get time, we'll get around to fixing this transmission, getting this transmission and transfer case put into the truck, and at that point, let's see, what are we gonna have to? Well, we'll figure the rest out when we get there. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Saginaw pump. I do have my high pressure line. I'll put this in the Horde as well as this pump. I do at least have an extra Saginaw pump if I happen to need one for whatever reason. Usually these don't go out unless they got a lot of miles on them. Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this truck. I was originally not going to lift it, but I think we're just going to go ahead and do it. We're just going to lift it. So yeah, I'm thinking we'll definitely be doing some 35s on it. I probably won't get BFGs for it. I'm kind of leaning towards like a something like an AT3, like a Wild Peak or something. Nothing super aggressive. I don't like running super aggressive tires. I don't like the whoa 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 noise, going down the road. So, and I'm not typically in the mud. And the mud that I do get into, I can get out in two-wheel drive, which is my front lawn. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. I originally wasn't going to post this video, but I decided I'd kind of half turn it into like an update video. So if you guys are following along, this project's been kind of all over the place. Mostly because, I think of an idea and then I present it, see what you guys think. And then I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I don't want to do that. And I bounce around, and finally I've settled. And we're going to keep it simple. 5-speed swamp. Just go ahead and do it. I think it'd be fun to have a V8 with a 5-speed. I've actually wanted a V8 with a 5-speed. And if this M5OD blows up, it's usually pretty cheap to fix them. I mean, you can get them all day long at the junkyard. I could rebuild one of these for somewhere around $500 or less, really. if you don't need any shafts and just put bearings and sinkers in, it's a couple $100. So anyways, guys, I'm going to sign off with this video. I wanted to get this out to you this week so you have something. I'm not sure what I got going on next week. There may be a video for next weekend. I know I said I was going to do the distributor how-to video, so I might do that this weekend if I don't have anybody needing their crap fixed this week. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. And what that means is I'll be able to start making money on this channel, which is my ultimate goal, is to start making some money. I'm making money from my Johnson's Garage channel, which is paying for some of my projects, but not all of them, obviously. And this channel, I would like to get this one to be profitable and start moving away from my old account. And eventually I'm probably just, well, I won't not post to it, but it just won't be like this channel. This channel I'm focused on, it's basically a fresh start for me, and I've been liking where it's going, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from some of you really liking the content over what I used to make. So anyways, I gotta go. I gotta stop blabbing. I gotta make this video and get it posted, and I gotta shut the hell up. See you later.